we're starting with our hip massage. So hands back behind you and rotating your knees down to the ground. Making sure that our forward knee, so the knee in the middle of each rep, is pushing forward at the hip and definitely touching the ground, pushing it out of the hip joint to then be pushed back into the hip as you rotate. This mobility video is 1 minute on and 5 seconds off, so that you have time to rotate and transition between the exercises. Going into our basic hamstring stretch, make sure you pull the foot nice and close into the thigh. Toe up to the sky to begin with and both hands reaching forward, either grabbing your ankle or your toe or your calf. Chin to chest, arms overhead. Push the butt back behind you, making sure we're stretching the hamstring. We can do a few foot circles here to unlock the ankle. You can also feel the tendons moving around in the back of the knee, changing directions. No rules, just do what feels natural. If it feels too much on the back of the knee, you can rest. Start to intensify the stretch now, reaching even further. Remember to push the stretch every exhale. We can turn into a half pancake stretch, rotating our bent leg side up to the sky, looking underneath the armpit, and swapping legs. Pulling the foot in up against the thigh, stretching out, grabbing your foot, ankle, calf, chin to chest. Focusing on stretching the hamstring, push the butt back behind you. Just try and straighten the leg as much as you can. We can rotate the foot, make sure we keep the stretch in the hamstring the whole time. Changing directions. Big circles, feeling the tendons move around the base of the knee. Reaching further on every exhale, focusing on our breath, just as important as doing the stretch itself. Intensify the stretch, drop into it deep, rotating into your half pancake. Head resting on your arm, stretching lower back. Changing into our child's pose stretch, this time feet together, knees out wide. Should be able to sink into this a little bit lower than your regular child's pose. Make sure the priority is getting your butt down to your heels and then reaching as far forward as possible. Concentrating on your breath. In an exhale, moving your hands to the left, stretching the right side of the back. We should feel this stretch through the tricep, shoulder, lats, which is the upper back, and of course the lower back. Changing sides, pushing the opposite hip down. So now reaching over to your right side, pushing your left hip down. We'll intensify the stretch in your left lower back. Hands back to the middle to round off the stretch. Concentrate on your breath, reaching further if you can. Changing into our runner's stretch. We're going to let you drop the knee down on the ground though, flattening the foot, starting with the hip open. Both arms are straight, leaning away from the forward foot. The main focus here is we're stretching that back leg hip flexor. Changing our positions, go into an ankle stretch, or we can move that foot out to the further side and dropping down onto our elbows, intensifying that stretch again on the back leg hip flexor. Hip circles one direction, to make sure we're getting every part of that hip flexor and thigh. Bring the foot back into a closer position for an ankle crush. Rotating towards your forward foot to stretch the outside of the hip flexor. Breathing deep and swapping legs. Stretching the back leg hip flexor. Option to tuck the foot or flat on the foot. Straighten both arms, leaning away from the forward foot. We have our hip open. It stretches through the groin. Stepping that forward foot further out and dropping down into a deep lizard pose. Intensifying the stretch on that back leg hip flexor. Bring the foot back in for our ankle crush. Nice stretch on the forward leg Achilles tendon. And rotating towards the forward foot to intensify the stretch on the outside of the hip flexor. Breathe in and out. Deep and slow. Going into our glute stretch, we're going to figure 4 stretch, but slightly different. I want you to roll over towards the side of the body that you're holding. So we're now laying from our glute on that forward leg side, all the way along the lower back, upper back. So our opposite shoulder should be up off the ground, and we're supporting ourselves with that arm on the ground, elbow extended out to the side. This intensifies the stretch. Breathing deep, holding this position. Feel free to readjust and pull the knee further, especially on those exhales. And swapping legs. Figure 4 glute stretch. Rolling to the side of the body with the leg that you're holding. Supporting yourself with your elbow. So if you feel the stretch in the left glute, the left side of the body is off the ground. And vice versa for your right. Pulling the stretch deeper on every exhale. Changing into our groin stretch on all fours. Make sure that outstretched foot toes are pointing forward, rocking forwards and backwards as we shift the stretch in the groin. From the front of the leg to the back of the leg, stretching our groin. Only 30 seconds each side for this stretch, as we don't want to overstretch the groin. Again, toes facing forwards, rocking forwards and backwards. Keep pressure on that outward foot to keep the stretch. And finishing with our couch stretch, or by using a wall, our wall stretch. That foot is flat, toes against the wall. Stretching our back leg quad. thigh, hip flexor. Make sure we squeeze the glutes and we're pushing the hips forward. You can have a pillow under the knee, or of course you can have that foot on the edge of a couch. Swapping legs, toes facing to the roof. Squeeze the glutes, push the hips forward. The closer your knee is to the wall or couch, the more intense the stretch is. Continue to breathe in and out, deep and slow.
Activity completed.
Laying on our back, our last exercise. 1 minute of breath work. Get yourself comfy, rolling the hips left and right, setting the shoulders back or not, getting yourself comfortable in any position you wish, laying on your back. Inhale through the nose, deep and long. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, deep and long. Exhale through the mouth. Now breathing just in through the nose, out through the nose. Slowing your breath. Relaxing the body.